Police say a Waterbury man wanted on a laundry list of charges led them on a high-speed chase before crashing at this intersection. I'm News 12 Connecticut's Kimberly Howard, and I'll have that story. Now, to understand what causes flooding, just take a look at the Norwalk River. Authorities say foot-high whitecaps, like the ones you see there, mean the river is close to raging. Add that to snow mounds like this one, which are all over southwestern Connecticut, and it's easy to understand why residents are worried. Well, it's really starting to come down hard out here, but as you can see, drivers are still out and about on the roads. That's because the snow hasn't started to stick just yet. We've seen a bunch of plows drive by, making sure the roads are sanded and salted and safe for the drivers. So if you do need to go out, remember to use caution because we are expecting more snow later this evening. The Rockettes have been off to a slow start. Regardless, fans are abuzz about the team's major league potential. A Westport diver hopes to return to Japan to help repair the nuclear reactors damaged by the recent earthquake and tsunami.
It really is tragic.
Like most people, Sam Vale has been following developments at the Fukushima nuclear power plant in Japan through the media.
It's disturbing to watch.
But unlike most people, he feels a very close connection to the events inside the reactors.
See, my mom used to go crazy about my job.
As a diver technician contracted for General Electric, he says he worked on the reactors back in 1990.
This is the first reactor that we worked on when we were working at Fukushima.
So when he heard about the earthquake and then the tsunami, he was horrified.
30 feet.
Especially as details about what they did to the reactors began bubbling to the surface.
I feel for the last guys that were evacuated from the control room.
He says while the Japanese are different than Americans,
much more formal and regimented.
He developed respect and admiration for them.
They were wonderful people to work with.
Which is why he's hoping to do emergency repair work back at Fukushima.
I would go because I know that General Electric has the best engineers in the world, and they would do it as safely as possible.
As Japan takes its first steps toward recovery in the wake of the world's first ever nuclear multi-natural disaster, he wants to be there.
We're going to go and help and be a part of it.
Vale says he hopes to know soon if he'll be going back to Japan. We'll, of course, keep you updated. Kimberly Howard, News 12 Connecticut. Police here in Stamford say they were called to the scene because the trooper involved in that chase lost all radio contact. Here's a look at the scene, a car chase turned crash that landed this man behind bars.
Engaging the police in a high-speed pursuit to avoid detection.
State police say they originally tried to pull over 24-year-old Gregory McKeithen for a traffic violation, but he instead led them on a chase, then crashed into this pole before his car caught fire.
There was damage to a utility pole. The road was closed for a brief period of time until the debris could be cleared, and CL&P came on the scene to assess the damage to their property.
Stamford police were called in to assist when the trooper involved in that chase lost all radio contact. State police say it appears McKeithen was running from the law because he escaped from a halfway house in Waterbury. McKeithen faced charges in Waterbury today. He'll face the Stamford charges separately. He's being held on $100,000 bond. In Stamford, Kimberly Howard, News 12 Connecticut. A moment in history for Connecticut. The 88th governor to lead our state and the first Democrat in 2 decades is sworn in.
I do.
Former Stamford Mayor Dan Malloy is now the man with Connecticut's top job, but he's not the only one raising his right hand.
I do.
I do. Absolutely.
Other elected officials, including Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman, took their oaths of office as well. But on this day of promises, it was also a day of festivities, a 19-gun salute, a 4 National Guard Black Hawk flyover, and the traditional governor's inaugural parade, complete with servicemen, horses, and marching band music. But after the parade, Governor Malloy will have to face a very different kind of music, a more than $3.5 billion deficit. That's a problem Malloy says can be solved if both sides of the aisle work together.
Not Republican ideas or Democratic ideas, but good ideas that know no political master or agenda.
But before Malloy buckles down to address the variety of issues plaguing our state, he does get one last dance at the inaugural ball Wednesday night. In Hartford, Kimberly Howard for LocalOnlineNews.tv and CTNewsJunkie.com.